Sasha and Jeff, and we have a guest today, Sarah. And so we're going to have a great discussion for you, which we will start from inside in the cockpit. But right now we just
enjoying the weather, right?
Make you all jealous about being what it's like here in Marina del Rey on this beautiful sailboat, which thankfully is mine.
Absolutely.
And this boat actually leaves the dock once in a while.
Every weekend.
Every weekend at least. So we actually are going to go sailing in a little bit, but it's kind of hard to have the camera rolling while we're sailing. What's wrong with America? What's wrong with our administration? What's wrong with potentially new administration? And
how to fix it.
Our own crazy ideas, how it might be able to be fixed, or we can suggest countries we might all have to move to very shortly. So everybody, wave to everybody. This will be the opening of our segment this time. Hello, Sasha.
Jeffrey, hi.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Jeff.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hey, Sasha.
We have a new great friend, a brilliant computer hacker, etc., etc., etc. This is Sarah. Sasha, you know, Sasha Missour, and I'm, of course, Crazy Jeff Mangler. So, here we are. We're on my sailboat, which is known as Interlude, and we're in the harbor at Marina del Rey. We were going to try to do this while we were moving. We discovered that if we want to still have this camera at the end of the trip, it's better to do it here in the dock. So now we're going to continue our discussion about what's wrong with the United States, besides everything. So
well, then we're done, because that's my answer.
Okay, so of course, you know, sadly, President Numbnuts is still President Numbnuts.
Oh, please, Jeffrey.
Couldn't do anything about that, but
what could you do about that?
But he's Trump. But the one thing we can say is that he's improving in the sense that now, instead of having 5,000 people dead in Florida in one night, we have 15,000.
Oh, please.
Sorry, 15,000 infected. He's doing a great job.
So how does he do it?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Being sarcastic. So listen, let's talk about the government structure.
Right.
Yeah, like Barack and I.
But sadly,
when Barack and I, like, what is going on? Like, what does he like? Is he saying anything besides Barack and I?
Well, he apparently liked them a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we left this thing off where we were talking about the problems with how the economy is working or how the economy is not working. You promised you were going to get a little bit into the stock market.
Did I promise? Yes, I did.
And what's wrong with this stock market? Because I know people who are day trading now who don't know how to day trade. I raise my hand. I'm very good. I win $20. I lose $20. But this is not a way.
Are you really going to start like with the day trading and stock market?
But everybody is staying at home. There are people playing the stock market now who didn't even know what it was.
I've been considering it. I've been considering day trading. I mean, what else do I have to do now?
Exactly the point. Like, what are you guys doing? Like today, let me explain. Republicans and Democrats before, what we have like in our country going is as far as financials, like where we can invest our money and get a good return. Honestly, in California, the housing is overpriced. If, God forbid, the interest rate will be rising, it will be the collapse of real estate markets. So they push the interest rate down, not because of the economy, because they wanted to do that. You understand? So like it's artificially pushed down interest rate. So this is number one. Number two, like where would you put like besides real estate your money?
Well, in my case, you know, I recommend everybody buy an expensive violin.
Yeah.
Because no, the truth is that what do you invest in now? Gold is obviously going to go up. Bitcoin is obviously going to go up. In fact, Bitcoin and digital currency, I think, will be the norm within 2 years.
Can I insert, like, how do you know Bitcoin?
How do you know it's going to go up?
Bitcoin is supported by nothing. It's an idea of...
That's actually where I disagree, because now it's supported by Amazon, it's supported by Morgan Chase Bank, it's supported by all the banks want to change the digital currency.
Why would they change? Because it will bring the chaos. You need like a currency which works. Today, a dollar works around the world, and we have to, as a country, support this like our financial institutions and structure, so we don't get like out of the picture in the world.
Bitcoin is too volatile and slow to use as a currency.
But it's volatile, but it certainly is not slow.
What?
The point is I can make a transfer with Bitcoin and you have the transfer in 12 seconds. If I transfer with the bank, you have to wait at least 24 hours.
No, you just use Zella. It depends how much you want
That's
to transfer.
in the United States. You can't use it for foreign transfers. It's not there yet.
No, there are many ways. But again, it's so it's not like people don't do usually international transfer. It's not Bitcoin will be resolving like all this issue with like Bitcoin. This is nonsense. So we are getting out of the point.
Anyway, we're talking about that a violin or an antique or a piece of real estate or anything that's not fiat currency is now what we would associate as real money. These are tradable things. These are things with actual value, where a dollar bill is literally not worth the paper it's printed on.
So in other words, you see that. Go ahead.
Well, did you ever see there's a guy who started with a paper clip. Did you ever see this?
No.
He started with a paper clip and just made it a point to trade up every time. He traded his paper clip for, I can't remember what the first trade was, but he kept trading for greater, find somebody that needed a paper clip, traded for something of slightly more value. Eventually got to the point where that paper clip was turned into a yacht. Seriously, he turned a paper clip into a yacht just by trading it constantly for other things. Well, one paper clip for, a notebook
We're talking about, I agree with you, like you can trade and you can do, most of the people, they go to work in wherever they work, and they want like their life to mean something, and besides they put money in the stock market like 401ks, and they don't have to think about that it will tank, because the Amazon PE ratio right now like 200 or something, so meaning that in 200 years you will get your investment worse. So it's in 200 years. Amazon never paid the dividends.
No.
And it's just like, it's crazy. So there are no fundamentals in the stock market. And like before we're talking about the stock market, we need to understand what country we are living in. Is it the Soviet Union? Is it like socialist country? Or is it America, where it's like capitalistic country? What you guys talking about, it's using your wherever you earn to work for you.
Yes.
That was a long speech.
Yes,
I apologize.
How do you make your money work for you rather than work for your money? Yeah.
Well, the other thing now is that
I could answer this question,
okay, but the other
please.
thing now, this is all very important, and there's a lot to talk about here. But now we have to apply it to the life and times as it is now. Sadly, we're going through this pandemic, and the pandemic has changed everything that we always knew as reality. As a musician, as a performer, and things like that, my profession is destroyed.
Commercial air industry, no one's traveling. It's
game
over, man. Game over.
Most of the security devices on almost every airplane designed by her. So then you have an idea. Everybody is suffering now. So for those who have a savings account and things like that, fine, you can survive for a certain amount of time. But at some point, there's no way to avoid the political situation that the coronavirus has caused. One way or another, either there has to be a cure, there has to be, everybody has to agree to do what's necessary to at least control it. We're all walking around with masks and things like that, which are great.
Is fucking okay.
But if only 10% of the people do it, we might as well not do it at all.
That's exactly. So like, what's your point? Like, we are talking about the economy, we are talking about the stock market, and people, what country we are living in, and like destroying, like right now, like with last 4 years of Trump, or 3 years of Trump, what they did, they changed the tax code. It's ridiculous what's going on. Then they pushed the interest rate to the lowest ever, so just to keep the economy going and running.
It's at zero. I mean, isn't it? They didn't go negative yet, right?
No, not negative yet. But the point is this: they try to.
Switzerland has a negative interest rate now.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh my God! So like 1 million people like in country. You say like in a village of some kind of like in Russia, in a village they have like free something.
Yeah, 1 million people in the country. But when I say negative interest rate, if you want to have an account in Switzerland, you have to pay an interest rate to the banks to put your money in the bank. So it's actually, it's crazy. It's a negative rate there. It's not that we're not in the days of numbered accounts anymore.
Let's move to United States right now, like because it's hard to like navigate you guys. The problem, yeah, it just.
Have you seen me sail my boat?
You see, we live in capitalistic country.
Yes.
And like coming back, and Trump, who is supposed to be the messiah for Republicans and business, what he did, he is whispering the stock market by lowering the interest rate, pushing the Feds to lower the interest rate, giving the tax credit for the corporations, doesn't matter big or small. It pushes all the stock market to go up and up and up. Its fundamentals are not there. So
what you're saying, it's a giant bubble.
It's like a huge bubble. Hold on.
But then it has to crash.
It's no. You see, like it cannot crash. Now they buying corporate bonds, so they put the bubble, and now they have to keep that bubble working until one day it will crash. Everything will be crushed because there is no fundamentals. I was thinking like about this like today's day, and I was thinking like, are we gonna? Why did we put the Bernie Madoff in a prison? The guy had a good product. Do you know what he did?
Yeah, well, that was a Ponzi scheme.
Stock market is a Ponzi scheme. What he did, he's got like the same like Tesla. Tesla is a good product. It's a beautiful car. People love it. Bernie Madoff from the other side has a beautiful product of interest-bearing interest in some kind of paper, doesn't matter what, like financial instrument. So you invest like $10,000, you get like 7 to 10% on your interest on your money invested. So it's a great. Listen, this is a great product. Tesla is a car, is a great product. And financial paper is it's a good product, but as Tesla will go up and up and up as a stock price, it will crash. And right now it's a 1500 a share, which this is insane.
Yeah.
It just not. There is no fundamentals, and you cannot short it because. So many people shorten it, but if people know what a short means.
On the other hand, you talk about something with no fundamentals. How can Facebook have such a high stock price? It's not $1,500, but it's like $250, $275, and they have nothing.
No, let me explain. You don't like this is an example.
Just
people,
advertising.
he doesn't understand shit. So right there. No, everybody like in the business, when you start your business, you ask, what do you have? And people say, I have a client list. And you have a client list? Oh my God, you are valuable just by having the client list. Facebook has 2 billion subscribers. If they sell to each subscriber things for 1 penny, they will be like swimming like is this ocean in cash. I had this conversation when the stock for Facebook was $18 a share, and the lady was talking. Oh, there was negative publication about Facebook, and I said the same thing to that lady. If you have money, invest in the Facebook.
But when it started to drop, they got out.
Yeah, but listen, Apple, you cannot compare Apple with Amazon. They are different. And at one point, like Trump said, like Amazon doing illegal things. Trump doesn't understand what he's saying. He
knows all about doing illegal things.
Yes, and COVID-19, he's an expert there. Yeah. But he's a patient who knows where it hurts, but he's not a doctor who knows how to cure. he knows that Amazon doing something. It's not illegal. It's legal. They and I'm gonna talk. I'm not will talk about what they do because I wanna get paid for this. Because
I'm not sure. Some of what Amazon's business is really borderline antitrust, because essentially they create a marketplace and say you can sell your products here. What they're doing is they're collecting all the data on what products do the best, all of this, and then they're undercutting their competitors because they have all the data from their competitors' sales.
Yeah, Facebook has all the data about you, your behavior, everything about your friends. Amazon, what they do, like how they destroy United States they destroy the retail. What they do, like for example, you just brought like a monitor or something. They have on stock high margin items. So basically, if you need like to buy a TV set or something big stuff that you don't just need like right away, you order on Amazon. But for other items, like daily items, you have to go to retail. So retailers don't make money on little stuff. They make money on little stuff, but they want to sell big items, which Amazon sells cheaper because they don't have to keep it in inventory. And then gradually Amazon kills those retailers because retailers have to buy the items and they cannot sell in a cheap as Amazon. That's how.
But
Amazon,
how many people are making careers out of Amazon? They buy stuff on Amazon and then they resell it for a profit.
It has nothing to do with Amazon killing the retailer, and then you don't have like retailers and just only what we have still have food retailers.
Well, I understand exactly what you're saying. For instance, in my profession, like I have a violin business, I have workshops, I have showrooms.
Exactly.
And then, but which is expensive. You have to pay rent, you have to pay everything
Absolutely.
else. I do most of the work myself. Otherwise, I have to have a restorer, somebody working on the violin, somebody setting things up.
It's just like point as this, like you want to buy anything like TV sets, maybe stoves, dryer, washers. On Amazon you can just buy from Amazon, but to be a retailer you have to have high margin items and small items that you mix up and you survive. You make it convenient for people just to go in a store and buy it. But because Amazon sells those high margins items, the retailers cannot compete with that because they have to buy the inventory and sell it higher. And that's
well, that's I think about what you're stating now is the reason, under the circumstances of our life now, why so many retailers are going bankrupt. You don't have the walk-in traffic anymore. The malls are closed. People, are limited in how many people can go to an establishment at any time. How can these places possibly survive in the situation today with the administration that we're dealing with?
Administration again, administration we're dealing for 3 years, and I'm just tired of listening that Trump is like, you see, I'm talking to Republicans and the guy says like, oh, Trump could do like so much, but those Democrats, they staying on the way and Trump cannot do anything. If I'm talking to Democrats, they say like, oh, because Trump stay there and we cannot do anything. So nobody can do anything because there is nobody offering anything. There is no, let's do this. Where's the foreign policies? Where are we meeting people and bringing them together under some one idea?
How can we have a foreign policy when when President Numbnuts has basically alienated us for the rest of the world?
I agree.
He's made us an embarrassment.
I agree with that, but from the other side, where's the opposition pushing him like listen, we need to do this. or something like because Trump even with his idiotic like movements and go ahead.
No.
At least he's offering, let's go out like away, come back from Afghanistan. I understand we had like, the biggest standoff like government shutdown right in history like 2 years ago.
Yep.
What did the Democrats do to make it shorter? What did they do like to bring something ideas to the table to make Trump and look bad and to offer something to not to create that standoff in the government?
Well, if you ask me, the Democrats are cowards.
Exactly my point. There is nobody bringing anything to the table to as a solution.
But I think there's nobody bringing anything to the table as a solution from both sides.
Absolutely, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's the big point.
That's
No, I
it.
agree.
I mean, in the case of the
Finally.
in the case of the Democrats, you know, we're not getting any details of how to fix anything. And in the case of Trump,
Jeffrey!
he's just not fixing anything.
I have
period,
Sarah-
as a matter of policy.
So,
You know,
so when you bring up Biden as a candidate, that's why I'm like, there's nothing going to change. He's more of the same.
well,
He's more
actually,
of,
from what I saw some of the speeches this weekend, and actually he does have ideas and he does have plans. And
He doesn't
he
have any ideas.
Yes, he does have ways that he wants to do things. Whether this can actually happen, I don't know. Well, you mentioned earlier today when we were chatting ourselves, he wants to bring the tax rate up to 28%. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
It's not just stupid. It's like a child says something like Trump and Republicans in 2017 they did a dangerous and unthoughtful idea. They changed the tax code. Now to change back or make it rational for the country, it's not enough to put like back like 28% for the C corporations. This is idiotic. So like when a person says like let's bring the taxes for the corporation 28%, and and again I'm thinking right now it's July, right? So I'm telling you Trump will be president of United States again. Tell me something like, or you tired?
Normally I would.
I am bailing ship if he gets reelected.
Where are you gonna bail? You're gonna bail in the water.
I don't care. I will swim across the ocean. I will swim myself.
And the reason is this, and here's the reason, Joe Biden doesn't say anything coherent. You cannot just say it. Go ahead.
Did you hear this? Mr. Biden, listen closely.
Yeah, listen closely.
You're getting the
Nobody tells you.
You're getting the suggestions from the
Of your lifetime.
from the horse's mouth. This
course.
is a large horse.
Yes.
So anyway, but that's the point. You know, you've got to come up with plans that are feasible, that work, that make sense, that are not completely left, certainly not right, but something in the
For
middle
the country,
that works.
purple.
Something that works
agree.
for the country. Remember, the purple vision.
Thank you so much.
Explain now what you think has to be done to make everything work. We already know
It's
what
just like,
doesn't work on both sides. What can work in the middle that will work for both sides?
so basically you have to and thank you, Mr. Biden, to listening to me.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening right
You're
now.
listening
Yeah.
like all that. I'm all ears, right? So
You're the computer genius.
Okay,
You got to
hold-
make sure that
hold
this
on.
gets to him.
Yeah. So basically,
What time am I supposed to do that? Hack his TV?
can I just talk or you just blah blah blah? All right. So basically, number one, like you have to figure out what country we are living here. Like if it's like capitalistic country, so let's do capitalistic stuff. You cannot do social things. Socialism doesn't work in capitalistic country. If you want to do capitalistic country, do capitalist policies and ideas. On this boat, we cannot feed million people. You see, Russia sells natural resources.
Does anybody want a sandwich? Oh, never
No,
mind.
never mind. America sells financials. China sells labor. We are the capitalist country. We produce the capital, and we think that capital have to work for us. And if, like for example, if you say like we want to bring the healthcare which run by the government, healthcare in 2016 cost to United States $3.5 trillion. All the cost for Medicare, healthcare, anything for all Americans. To have government run this program, we have to have funds of $3.5 trillion, let's say it's in 2016. As a country, we got money. How do we get as a United States money? Printing one way, but like the other way. So we getting taxes, tariffs. That's how we get the money. People give to the fund, kind of like government treasury money. That's how we make money as a country. In 2018, we got $3.3 trillion as all what we've got. So basically, we cannot run the program which is costing us $3.5 trillion.
Yeah, but don't we sell the other $200 or $300 million to China?
So as a country, we earned $3.3 trillion in 2018. We spent $4.3 trillion as a country in 2018. We're in a deficit of $900 billion. Do you know, Jeffrey, concentrate, dude.
I'm just checking the screen, go ahead.
You checking country is in danger and you checking something.
Otherwise,
that's like,
I gotta be sure that everything we've said is actually on the film. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically we're already bankrupt. Like, if you go like to the bankruptcy court, a judge like look at you like, hey, you're making like so much, and you like $22 trillion like in the debt, national debt. How this is bankruptcy situation, but we're still printing money. Republicans printing money. Democrats not printing money, but they come up with the ideas to print money. Free healthcare, free education, and it doesn't work. We're like, again, Biden, like we're talking about what Biden has to understand. What country are you living in? If it's a socialist country, then you just take over the industries. You become partners in the oil industry as a government. You take over 50% or 51%, like in China, Russia, wherever it is. And by doing that, you have a cut of what production is in the United States. That's a socialism. They have socialism. It's government has means on the production.
But they have a cut. They have a big cut. They have the tax.
But
they have the tax. For instance,
hold on. No,
let's just go back a little bit, because many years ago, when our another genius president was President Carter, what did he do? He created the Department of Energy because of the oil embargo that they had, and as a result, the Department of Energy cost more than the entire energy industry itself.
Carter is another numbnuts. Like, let's not talk Carter here. It's a joke by itself. So point. You see, again, if it's a socialist country, then you just like say so, and you have to get the cut of the industries, all production we have. But if we cannot do that, so we are not socialist country. We don't have money that you trying like to get like universal health care. The money doesn't work. You need $3.5 trillion every year. Whenever you change the employees to the government employees, you will by default make the production cost more, because government employees will go like in the retirement at 55 years old. They have pension and realistic benefits compared to simple other people.
And why shouldn't everyone get those benefits?
Exactly, good. So you're talking about socialist country.
I am a socialist.
You socialist, go live in socialist country. This is capitalist country. You cannot sit on this boat and say like, I want meals.
I sure can.
And that's the point. And that's exactly the point. Ridiculous point, because like whenever Biden will spar on a debate with Trump, Trump says like, you're an idiot because you trying like to get something that you cannot get, and then he will not have any answer.
The difference is that what you're saying would be the case if Trump could actually figure that out. But I don't think Trump I don't think will hold a candle to Biden because he doesn't know how to debate. All he knows how to do,
I agree.
All he knows how to do is call people names, but he has nothing to say.
Oh, please, that's why he is a president, because he knows how to, he put down everybody. There is no Republican Party. Nobody in the Republican Party could say anything because Trump like destroyed everybody personally. He just like diminished everybody.
I want to know what dirt he's got on everyone. That's what I want to know.
No, it's just like he says like you have like an LA to a lady, you have a horse face. And everybody stand like, oh, okay, no problem. You bleeding in between. Fox Channel News like, oh,
no,
no problem.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the president insulting people. I honestly do.
Right, but
he should act like a civilized human being.
Hold on. I'm being ironic here that he just dismantled everybody rightly or wrongly, and nobody stood up. He's so slow.
I understand what you said. Let me ask you a question.
Please.
You don't think it's still better to have somebody in the office who, whether you don't agree with all the policies or don't agree with it, you agree that this is a good human being and a good representative of what America should represent? I believe in that.
No, please stop, and I will tell you. This is the key point like for this video. I think we need Donald Trump, and I tell you why.
Oh no.
Okay, listen to this. If you cannot defeat Donald Trump on the issues, you shouldn't be in the government, because if this is the testament. If you Biden and you believe and he's a good human being and he's this and he's that, okay, Biden, go and do it. Defeat the Donald.
Well, that's where we disagree, because I think in the end that Biden can defeat Trump on the issue.
Let him do it. But the problem when what he's talking about, his idea of the country, they don't make any sense. They don't come together. Okay, he says something like let's put 28% like back to like on the corporation, for the corporation 28%. And Donald Trump says like, what does it do? What it will do? And that will be end of this discussion, because it will not do anything. This is crazy. It's not a policy. It's just like.
Yeah, but I in the end, I think I don't think Trump cares. I think the only thing that matters to him, will it sell another room in his hotel? If it doesn't sell another room in his hotel, he doesn't care what happens.
I don't think he cares about anything but his own enrichment.
But again, like we're talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking. Hold on. We're saying like somebody, if he's so bad, he's so bad, and he's an idiot, he's caricature. Okay, I need somebody who just come with a solid message and defeat him.
Okay, so now I'll get back to the same thing.
Okay.
Your book is The Purple Vision.
Yes.
So, obviously, I can't believe that you would support Donald Trump.
I'm not supporting.
You might support.
You don't understand.
Let me finish.
Okay. I'm screaming now.
You might support some of the ideas, some of the things that he originally.
You didn't understand the
Let
point.
Let me finish,
please.
I can't.
Please.
It's not often that I can't get a word in edgewise. So, as what I'm trying to say is that you're doing the same thing that these two are doing. Donald Trump says we have a problem, no answer. Biden supposedly has no answer for the problems, but at least he has an idea of what his answers are, but you don't agree with them. Now, I'm asking you again, from the purple, the middle road, what are the answers, the actual answers? Forget Trump, forget Biden.
Okay.
What, in your opinion?
Gotcha.
Okay, so we have, for instance, how do you make the economy work? How do you make taxes work? How do you make this pandemic work? How do you make climate change work? All of these things that you really talk about in the Purple Vision.
Right, it's all in the book. I cannot for 5 minutes like to tell, let people read the Purple Vision.
I give you 7 minutes.
Okay, you give me 7 minutes. But the whole point, but the whole point, I have all the answers. I have answers for illegal immigration. I have the answer how to like reduce, lower the healthcare cost. I have all that answers. But the point for Biden,
Actually, that's a good place to start.
yeah.
That's a good place to start. Would be a good place to change, because the biggest thing that Biden is running on right now is healthcare.
And it should be.
Because Trump is destroying any semblance of healthcare that works for anybody.
They just took away my health care. They literally just attacked people like me and took away our right to health care.
You see,
That is not funny.
okay. So and what do you want to say?
You're a way to make healthcare work.
Okay, the problem with healthcare, again, Democrats on the right, on the left, they're socialists. And socialists, I'm like you guys, you thinking that we're like in a big country that like has to take care of us. It owes us. But the thing is this, we have like certain funds. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's not that. I believe that if you provide everyone with certain basic fundamentals, healthcare, education, infrastructure, safety, you provide people with these things, you provide them with a stable footing so that they can be successful.
Okay, I will answer on this. The problem is this, it's like every country is different, and development of that country is different. You cannot at them, like we are developed country, you cannot like developed country say like, listen, you were flying and now you have to just like swim. You cannot change the course of how the country worked.
Sure you can.
No, you can't, because the fundamentals, like you're saying, like we need like to provide the money for the healthcare, and I'm just telling you, we as a country gathering 3.3 trillion dollars on the top of the economy when 2019 was as an economy we were on the top. We just collected only 3.3 trillion dollars. Where do we get the rest of the money for the healthcare for everybody?
Well, for one, you need to cut out the middlemen, the insurance companies, because they're very wasteful.
But you see, but this is not even forget the insurance company. It's not about the insurance company. You went to a doctor, you paid $2. Jeffrey had insurance with his military insurance. Military insurance paid for the health care $20. And that's the cost for going to a doctor, for curing yourself, for the drugs, $3.5 trillion in 2016. If you take under government the whole system, you have to have as a government $3.5 trillion on the bank as a fund to fund that healthcare. You don't have that money. You have to raise the taxes, raise it, because this is how, as a federal.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about if healthcare was for free.
Yes.
Yeah, but forget healthcare. Obviously, healthcare. The healthcare can't be completely free.
Okay, so
which is what Biden says. What Biden says, he does not agree with the Warren and the so.
At least
there has to be the people who can afford it should pay
Can
for
I just
it.
cut right there? I agree with you, Jeffrey. This is a very good point with Biden. At least he doesn't sound lunatic at that point. He says, "Listen, let's fix something." And this is where like Biden has to just here's like 5 stars, like smiley face. This is the only place Biden said something where nobody says, let's fix something. Let's not invent something different and from the other one shed to go to another shed. Let's fix something. If you have a 10% problem, pre-existing conditions, some people cannot afford, let's fix them 10% of the problem, not change the whole.
Okay, because the thing that's also not fair is that when you think of the government, everybody who works for the government has socialized medicine.
Yes.
None of us supposed to do.
Huh?
I've been working for 25, 30 years. I have a degree in engineering, professional avionics. I've had blood cancer, a rare debilitating neurologic disorder. I now have to worry about where my health care is going to come from, all because of a pandemic that cost me my job in the avionics industry.
Exactly.
Why
So-
should I have to be sitting here scared about my health care?
Exactly.
I've never
So-
taken a break. I've never asked for a handout.
Okay, so let me just in my plan, like, and Biden, we're like thinking that Biden listen closely. The solution in healthcare is this: you have to have a minimum insurance. It could be emergency insurance that we have to provide, and it cannot be just talking about minimum insurance. It has to be like we have to talk about illegal immigration, people who are walking just straight forward to the hospitals for emergency care, and that's how the cost of your bill when you go like to a doctor is high, because so many people go in there for free, and we have laws that we cannot enforce the payments. If you don't have money, or you have like little money, you bring like your income tax return and you say like I don't have money, so the hospitals will not go after you.
And that's the humanitarian thing to do.
Right,
is to
but
not turn someone away.
I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying who's gonna pay for it. That's why like people on Jeffrey or other people who go to hospitals, they have to pay 2-3 times more. Point is this: you have to have a minimum emergency coverage.
Yes.
So then that's the way in Purple Vision, and I'm not gonna go like 10-15 pages in Purple Vision. I'm saying read the book. It's a complete solution what you do, and I want people to read the book.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit like here like let this.
Okay, so
There is a solution thought through.
The point being is that, you know, we can discuss back and forth, but we have a limited time on each episode. So, but there is a potential idea that Sasha has, which could fix this, and he's got an idea pretty much for everything. We have to talk about immigration, the illegal immigration, but to sit there and lock kids up in cages and stuff, that's not a solution for illegal immigration.
Absolutely, I agree.
Let me finish, and then also,
that's...
in terms of global warming, we can thank the pandemic for improving global warming a little bit in the United States. So the pollution's a lot less, although this weekend it's pretty bad because of the heat. So, but there are potential solutions for everything. Right now, our biggest problem, in my opinion, is that we have zero leadership. For whatever reason, whether it's the fault of the two political parties harassing each other, or whatever, or Trump being a complete maniac, from 22 out of 24 hours a day. There's lots of reasons why things are bad right now.
I agree. We have no real leadership.
But we need leadership. As I spoke about in the last thing about the Peter Principle and other things, we've got a situation in the political administration that the only people who are working in this administration are incompetent, because nobody of competence wants to work for the Trump administration. There's no future in it unless you want to spend a good part of your future in court. Yeah. So if you have someone like that, then obviously Trump is a disaster. On the other hand, you talk about the disastrous things with Biden. The difference with Biden is that I'm sure, in my opinion, just from his experience, having spent years in Congress, gotten a lot of things passed, he's a smart man, but more important, he will have smart people working.
Yeah.
And they'll have the best people available working, and I think he will compromise almost everything.
Let me just, because we're finishing this segment, what I want to say, you said absolutely everything brilliant. The problem, and not the problem, in boxing, there are like people, good boxers, who are called gatekeepers. What it means, if you defeat this boxer, and that means you're in a good level and you can go like and become a world champion or something, but you have to defeat that gatekeeper guy who is a solid boxer. The same thing with Trump. He's a gatekeeper. You have to defeat Donald Trump on the principles. You have to bring the solutions. You cannot just say I'm a good guy. You have to bring.
Yes, but normally I would agree with you. I would have agreed with you up to about 6 months ago. But now, 6 months later, I can only say that the gatekeeper is failing. Is failing as a person, as a human being, and just
But
you can only be so bad for so long when even the people that supposedly
He has
support you,
he has no morality.
the people who actually support you say, look, enough is enough.
You don't understand. I agree with you that he's like failing, but the point is this: so go get it, go defeat it, go do something. So you cannot just say because he's bad, I'm the guy for you. You have to say something that you have to bring something to the table.
But I think that's
I
the general.
agree.
But I think that's the general criticism. When
Yeah,
even
yeah.
on cable news, that everybody's saying that Biden should do the same thing. But the smart thing from Biden right now is that he's giving, until they have debates and things like that, he's letting the president do everything he can to bury himself. And I think that's a good idea.
It could be, but again, if Biden does,
Heretofore.
if Biden will be the same as he is today, you will see he's not going to be a president. You have to defeat the guy. You have to bring country together, not just words. You have to say something. If you have ideas on the healthcare, just bring the ideas. Read my book. There is a complete set of how you can lower the cost of the healthcare. There is a total idea of what you need to do. But
I have the solution. I finally have the solution. Might be a good place to end. Mr. Biden, I have your new campaign manager right here. Do everything he says. You're gonna win. You're gonna be popular.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a guy who's not only smart, he's also cute.
and here's my checking account and routing number. All right, so let's end for this.
Okay, listen. We look forward to another crazy debate. It's getting hot as sin out here.
Yeah.
I want to thank.
Yeah, it's very.
I want to thank Sarah for joining us. I want to thank you. So let's say goodbye. And
Thank you.
we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.